I think from the beginning, not quite knowing how to navigate it. It's kind of like that idea of like, it's figure outable.
You're sort of stuck in that situation, that moment.
He calls himself bougie.
He's not wrong.
Never in a million years did I think he was going to really take that leap in that moment.
Oh! Welcome back to Love Out of Chaos with the Valentines. I'm Patrick Valentine.
And I get Valentine.
And I'm Linda, Mama Valentine.
Hey, yo, today we're going to be talking about traveling. Zach, do you like to travel? You like going in a plane and go, whew?
Do you like going on a plane?
Yeah.
Do you love going to London?
Tottenham.
Oh, sorry,
and
my bad.
New York.
You didn't like my plane sounds.
New York. Going to New York to eat pizza.
We're going to be talking about traveling today. You like to travel?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like to travel? Like,
you love to go to the hotels?
What?
A hotel.
And you like napping at the hotels? I respect it. You do like napping at the hotels. What else do you like doing?
A spa.
To get a massage. And with that, it's a beautiful chaos. We have been very fortunate recently to travel a lot.
Yes.
Something that I don't think we ever imagined would have been possible even 6, 7 years ago, 5 years ago when we started social media.
As you know, it's something I always wanted to do as a family.
Yeah.
I never really had the opportunity to, or maybe considering circumstances, right? We talked about previous episode how having these changes have really helped navigate where our life is now.
Yeah, it was everything from financial to familial to changes to, again, we lost our house. Like, it was just like so many elements.
Right.
And I think that's natural for a lot of families to experience of why traveling may not be feasible.
Right.
But one big thing is also Zach's comfortability of traveling.
It's been touch and go, it's just been a learning process for all of us. I think from the beginning, not quite knowing how to navigate it, but because the opportunities have really presented itself, it's kind of like that idea of like, it's figure outable.
Yeah, and I think I would go back to, the previous episode we talked about Disneyland and kind of that exposure to it. It was a little bit harder to expose him to traveling when we didn't have the financials to travel. But again, us being very fortunate. Yeah,
small little adventures were also challenging.
So what made it challenging from your perspective, trying to have Zach travel, whether it's a small adventure or a big adventure?
I think the unfamiliar places. I've said this before. Exposing Zachary to unfamiliar places and situations, I was always in a place of the unknown. Was he going to be okay? Was he going to have a meltdown? Was he going to have a big reaction? There was all these unknowns, and there were times that, we kind of just walked through it and it felt, oh, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
And these were all teachable and learning moments for me. So I know in the past 6 years, we've had all these like grand opportunities open up to us when we started, TikTok, social media. And I know you and I would always have conversations about like, how are we going to do this? Yeah. What is that unknown, foreseeable unknown, anticipation unknown? Trying to put ourselves in that situation of, okay, we're going to figure it out. However, we are very much aware that these things can happen. We are very much aware that
These
he may not
breakdowns,
he may
yeah.
not like it, enjoy it. He may have a meltdown, and we experienced all of it.
And it's not like when you travel, especially if you're traveling on a plane or in a car ride, it's not like you could just be, okay, we're going to leave now. You're sort of stuck in that situation, that moment for could be hours, depending on where you're traveling to. And traveling is already stressful enough for anyone. You experience stress, I experience stress. Everyone's pretty much like, say for the most part, most people get a little anxiety while traveling, or it's not the funnest part for a lot of people, and for every reason. But once you get to a destination, that's the fun part.
Right.
But the actual traveling, I would say most people don't enjoy. It is heightened when you have someone like Zachary that has Down syndrome and autism.
Yes, absolutely.
Your eyes are bulging out.
I
and
know they
everything, like,
are,
yes.
because I think about, yes, how far we've come, but those challenges still exist today.
Yeah.
Not to say that not much has changed, but there's always something different, something new wherever, we go that we are trying to navigate through and help him and help me and help you, because we all our experiences are so different. What we are experiencing watching Zachary, like me watching you, me watching Zachary, me trying to like navigate my emotions, your emotions, like, and it feels like every time there is something new, something different, or just unexpected, because those moments are still very much true no matter where we go. It could be great. We had this wonderful experience, our first big family adventure that we went on when we went to Florida. I feel like that entire experience from beginning to end felt really too good to be true.
Yeah.
From the flight there, from the flight back, there was...
And Zach, from what I remember, he enjoyed it. There was nothing.
No issues.
Because we were worried.
Absolutely.
But then there was nothing. Whatever the reason, whatever helped him feel at ease, the excitement maybe for the first time,
yes.
whatever it may have been.
I think there was a lot of different elements going on during that time, and support too. Like I think we went in knowing, understanding, okay, we're going to do this. There has to be a genuine understanding of support that wherever, whatever's going to happen, we will get through it and figure it out. But our experience ever since then is not always the same.
That's for sure.
It's not always the same. It's different. We've been fortunate to travel to London. And when we did, we traveled with a family, and he did well. It was probably one of the longest trips we did.
Was it a 10-hour flight? 10,
I
11
think
hour
so.
flight?
And overall, he did well.
Yeah?
He did really well. So I think it just, so many different elements, so many different challenges.
Yeah, because I think what was it, maybe last year or something like that, he didn't do well on a 1.5-hour flight. He didn't like it. He wanted to leave. He just wasn't having it, for whatever reason. And I think it goes back to us then needing to, okay, what were the triggering points that didn't help him, and what were the elements that made him feel more calm, made him feel more at ease? Because it's traveling, especially on a plane, we don't do it every week.
No.
We do it. We're very fortunate to do multiple times
Oh my God,
a year
I don't think
now.
I could do it every week.
We've been fortunate enough to do multiple times the past few years, but it's not something you could just keep exposing him to like you did with Disneyland or like you did with my sporting events. It wasn't a constant weekly thing to do.
And because every time we do go, it's just a different experience. You know, even when I think, okay, it's going to go smooth, things, I'm prepared.
We have everything.
Snacks,
we got food, snacks, pillow, everything that we've thought we needed.
And then something triggers him.
It could be a loud noise. It could be
someone arguing.
That's
his latest thing.
Yeah,
no matter where we go, he doesn't like to hear somebody having a discussion that feels like someone's arguing.
Yeah, whether it's parents or a parent to their
siblings
kids, siblings.
No.
Doesn't matter what it is. If there's like that negative energy, he gets very triggered and he gets hyper-focused on.
Very hyper-focused.
And he says they're being mean, which again, we wouldn't know the full story of that, but he gets very triggered.
And that can happen anywhere. Yeah. That's something you can't
control.
You can't control. And once there is that trigger and hyper focus, it sometimes feels it's hard to help him navigate and help him, find that inner peace or that place where that he feels safe and comfortable, because it can happen anywhere. So, I am very thankful that I have learned certain tactics to help him, or even just remove him from the space quickly as possible, and redirect his energy and his focus somewhere else, in hopes that is just something that he can help just control a little bit more. But it's not always the case. It's not that simple. But he has come a long ways. He does travel. He does get on a plane. He does enjoy the destination and everything the hotels. Oh, he loves hotels.
The hotels. That is
everything about a hotel.
I don't know, call it safe haven, or
if it was up to him, he'd just hotel hop for a while, because he enjoys going to different locations, different hotels, the amenities, the spas. He calls himself bougie.
He's not wrong. He really is not wrong. He has become a little bougie when it comes to traveling and hotels and those experiences. And I mean, who could blame him, right? I would say many of us enjoy hotels. Many of us enjoy getting out of the same day-to-day that we may have at home or in a town.
And I love to see him enjoy these things that I don't think I ever had the opportunity to really think about or plan or foresee to enjoy with him, for him. So the fact that we get to do that now, and those opportunities are there for him, I'm glad that, blessed and fortunate to be able to provide those experiences for him. Because, as we always say, he's living his best life. He really is.
And I think that's what's so beautiful about it. We get to see Zach try something new. Mm-hmm. Again, sometimes it doesn't land well. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it's a memorable moment that we're going to be talking about for 20 years from now, as you're talking about going to Disney World and Florida for the first time. Those memorable moments are forever ingrained in our mind that we keep talking about. And I think that was in 2016, 2017.
For his 16th birthday, I believe it was.
Yeah, so 2016. Or
17, yeah.
And again, it was just so beautiful and amazing. Again, not to say that I remember when we went to Jamaica from a cruise, and he enjoyed a lot of the experiences. But one of the experiences he didn't enjoy was a bird flying near him. Again, maybe he would have, maybe wouldn't. We didn't know.
It was overwhelming for him.
It was very overwhelming for him. again, the tour guide, the cruise itself, it was an MSC cruise, was fantastic. But it was that small moment of the bird flying too close to him freaked him out.
Yeah.
And again, we can't fully predict these things. All we could do is try to give him a safe place and an opportunity to experience something new.
Yeah. And again, that's always been not only my desire for both of you, right? But because I am so very adamant about these experiences and exposing him to, he will tell me whether it's okay or it's not.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it's so important for him to have those memories and those experiences, whether they land well or not. I would prefer to do that than to never know. Never try. I mean, I can't say there's ever been a real experience that I felt was too much or too far, because he will let me know.
Yeah, and because again, even in that bird experience example that we talked about, there was no way to test like, okay, he wants to, he doesn't. He was excited to try because we're like, oh, we're going to try this. He's like, okay. And you could tell he's a little nervous, but we're encouraging him to try something new and new things. But again, you can't predict whether he is or isn't going to like it. He didn't even know whether he was going to feel overwhelmed in that situation. And so it's just providing that space and opportunity to encourage him to go outside his comfort zone, but also have that space of
a safe zone.
Yeah, that safe space for him. And whether that's out and about, like retreating, or us as people, right? Like being that safe space for him as a person is something we try to do as best we can. As I know I do as a brother, and I know you do as a mom.
Yeah, I do.
And I think that's what makes those experiences worthwhile, even if he's not
too keen on the idea, whatever it may
right?
be.
Like even if he wasn't too keen afterwards, it happened.
I do think about. I want to say, let's see, how old was he when we drove you up to, I believe it was Colorado, and we stopped at that Olympian.
In Utah.
In
Utah,
Utah,
I think it's Olympic Park in somewhere in Utah.
Yeah, in Utah, and there was zip lining. Mm-hmm. He was touch and go, if you recall.
Yeah, because you also had to take a little, like, kind of ski lift idea.
Yes.
Up, and he
wanted to, but then no. And then he wanted to, and then it was a back and forth. And because I felt like he really wanted to, I kept encouraging him, right? He would see everybody just, zip down, and felt scary, even for me. But I think once he jumped in with 2 feet and made that decision of like, okay, I'm going to do it, he came back for more.
Yeah, again, he was laughing the whole zip line down, and
never in a million years did I think he was going to really take that leap in that moment. And I was
4 or 5 more times
so
afterwards.
proud. Yeah. And those are big monumental steps for us, for me, for him. And I'm a true advocate to celebrating those moments, because those are the moments we take for granted. And it's such a big step for Zachary to even come out of his own little comfort zone, that him taking that leap, him deciding and making that choice. When he made that choice, he wholeheartedly went into it and jumped into that situation and absolutely loved it. Just loved it.
Yeah, I remember.
And
that was really cool to see.
It is. I still, again, these memories just are so instilled and engraved in my mind. And this is everything I hoped and more for him. it's a difficult place to be when you're seeing it from a parent's perspective and watching your child, have full anxiety of a new experience, have full anxiety of things that it's possibly will bring them joy. And that was really a true moment of just joy and laughter, and knowing that all the steps that were taken to arrive to that moment were the things that we spoke about before: exposure, consistency, taking that first step,
Encourage him to
encouraging,
go outside the
support.
comfort zone.
Yes.
Support, absolutely.
So that is all encompassing in that one moment. And we've had plenty more moments like those, but those were just highlights of those steps and those changes and opportunities that otherwise wouldn't have had if we didn't decide to say, let's go out of our comfort zone. Let me take him out of his comfort zone. And, he's got an adventurous spirit. He really does.
He does. And again, I think to sort of elaborate on that we don't want to minimize and understate like the other times that weren't the best for him.
Yeah.
Because again, I think a lot of listeners sometimes can see Zachary now at 24 years old and wonder, how the heck did he get here? How did we get here as a family? Because they're experiencing maybe what we were experiencing
that first time.
The first time. They were experiencing the maybe breakdowns that Zachary to this day
and they're
still
real.
happen.
They're real.
They are absolutely real.
It's real to say and to feel as a parent. I wish my child would and could. I wish, because when you're in that place in your life, you do see other kids, whether exploring, whether in the education system. I mean, you name it, right?
There's always a comparison.
There's always a comparison,
Absolutely.
But you do have to give yourself the opportunity to know what those boundaries are, where you can push a little bit. Because I would never say completely expose your children and,
make them super uncomfortable.
No,
there's extreme.
There's
right?
an extreme.
It's just little by little.
These are steps that I've taken, that we've taken, that have occurred to get to this place and this point. Because I myself, even from a simple thing that we take for granted is potty training. Zachary didn't potty train until really late. So this is just an example of what it's like when you are either doing comparison and thinking, will my son or my daughter ever get to the place of point to...
As I see this other family or this other situation, right? And again, like you said, it's very natural. And maybe when I say this, I don't know if it makes sense because I'm not a parent yet.
Yeah.
But as someone that also experienced that with Zachary, as a kid, I always wondered, oh, why can Zach not do this, but I know this individual with Down syndrome can? Again, I had those same thoughts. I think kids have, siblings have the very similar thoughts that parents do. We just don't fully understand how to articulate it.
Right.
And also, naturally, our brains aren't developed enough to understand what the heck is going on.
Right.
Like, why am I comparing? Why does this even matter? Where is this coming from? And I think thinking back to how I was feeling in the comparison with Zachary, with other children with Down syndrome, other siblings with Down syndrome, I think something that I wish I told myself, and hopefully other parents can also take in and siblings can take in, is don't compare to other people, just compare that individual to themselves. Because when you compare just yourself to yourself, or just your child to your child, like that individual child, right? If we compare Zachary just to Zachary, then we could acknowledge and see, okay, when he was 12 years old, traveling was not okay for him, what, right? But a year later, he was okay to travel in a car for an hour, right? So you see those steps and you see those milestones, instead of thinking, oh, my child's behind because
He's not traveling to New York or
like this other individual with Down
no.
syndrome that I see on social media. And again, easier said than done. I totally get that. But I think that's helped us a lot because we just focus on Zachary. We could acknowledge, hey, we're so happy that this individual with Down syndrome is doing this, or this individual with Down syndrome and autism is doing this, right? Great for them. Like, we're so happy for them. And in those moments, I don't feel like it matters in relation to Zachary. Like, what that person's doing doesn't fully matter into where Zachary's at in his stage of life with traveling, with potty training, with whatever it may have been.
Right.
And so when I think about Zachary and I think about the moments we've had with traveling, I think that makes us even more appreciative of those highlight moments while traveling, because we're able to see, wow, Zach, like, good job, bro. Like, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for us as a family. Like, you did that. Like, Zachary, you did that. And I'm so proud of you for going outside your comfort zone. It feels like a little, because it's just about him. It's not about anyone else.
No, it's well said. And I completely agree 100%, because it's hard not to do the comparison, like you said, even as a younger, your older sibling in a younger period of your time, the comparison that you did. I think it's great to be inspired by. Mm-hmm. Like, it's really, I know I have been inspired by so many other families, looking at how far they've come in their journey, and, the kids, their family. I think that's important. It's important to be inspired by. It's important to realize that there are opportunities that you can take in small steps.
Yeah, and learn from. Absolutely.
And keep. The worst thing you can do is just give up and not try. I think that's the worst thing that anyone can do in any circumstance.
Yeah.
But I think that, where we are today is very telling of the journey that we have been on, the journey that even as a mom, I have watched Zachary, those milestones. And whether Zachary, achieves certain things in his life, for me, that's not important. It's important of where he is today. What's important for me is to see that he continues to have joy in his life. And as we navigate through these next, adventures in our lives, that Zachary continues to just enjoy that, because I don't want to put unrealistic expectations on him, on myself. And what I mean by that is sometimes we become so focused on things that we hope for without taking those steps. I can hope for certain things and someone else may be achieving that. But if I don't take some little step to even help him navigate through new adventures or new opportunities, then those become unrealistic expectations. And I think for me, that is so important that I set that pace for him.
Yeah, absolutely. So knowing that a lot of parents and families with and without disabilities, to be honest, struggle with traveling and the anxiety of traveling, again, I think it's very common and natural. what advice would you give to people that are nervous or that had a bad experience while traveling, knowing that we've also experienced an array of experience while traveling? What advice would you give?
I think there's certain things that I still like to do today that I feel help me, because I unfortunately do get anxiety myself. I get a little stressed out knowing that I'm going to travel, not because I'm not in a place where I don't want to travel. I want to travel.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know that there's certain things I have to do in order to get myself kind of geared up towards that, not just for myself, but for Zachary. But I like to present things to him. I like to expose him, whether it's on a YouTube or through books, and let him know, look, this is where we're going. This is what we're going to do. Start having the conversation, because it helps me too. Watching him understand, take the information in, ask questions, because those are things we'll start pondering in his mind for days and maybe weeks. But I would definitely say start somewhere. If it's something that you truly want to do, start somewhere, from little adventures at home. Start taking the time to expose new locations. The simplest things of sometimes going to the park was overwhelming.
It could be a new playground.
It could be a new playground. It could be anywhere, something new, because those are the stepping stones to those adventures later on. Those will help you navigate what works, what doesn't work. Having a conversation, even if there isn't a real dialogue between you and your child, just know that they're receiving the information. Because we talked about being, Zachary was nonverbal at one point, but they are receiving their information.
Right.
They are very much aware of what's happening. That is really my biggest advice. And don't give up. Keep trying. The smallest steps, new little adventures that you seek out within your own community, they're important. They really are, because it's real. The isolation is real. We talked about this last episode, but the opportunities are also equally real. And they're
very
there.
rewarding.
And they're very rewarding.
Yeah. Can be very rewarding. So I love that. I love that piece of advice. We got the suitcase challenge. Zach, you ready for what's inside the suitcase?
Okay,
You cannot
good.
travel without a suitcase. And Zach, some of these things in the suitcase are moments from our traveling, are things that are very important to Zach while traveling, to help him travel better and maybe sleep on the plane. Are you ready to see what's inside the suitcase?
Okay.
With a wink.
My.
Let me see the wink.
Oh my.
Okay, Zach, are you ready for the first item in the suitcase?
Yeah, Mom.
You ready?
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Catch, Mom.
Oh, do you remember this one? This was from San Diego.
It was from San Diego. And you have to get on a plane to travel to a lot of the places we want to go to. Hawaii, London. We traveled to London. Go, throw it to me. I'm open, bro. Throw so hard. Okay, Zach, I'm open right here. It's just a little memory about traveling, a plane, and everything. Go a little paper.
Sorry.
I thought there was a little animosity in that throw.
Yeah, it's possible.
Little brothers. So again, this was the first little thing that's in our suitcase, like in a plane. We go on a lot of planes. We enjoy it. We've talked about,
Again.
and we'll get food in there too.
And more food. Yeah. And more food.
And we did talk about how a plane can provide a lot of challenges for him. So this is a physical representation of what's to come. Are you ready for the next item?
Yeah.
You rubbing your tummy. You rubbing your tummy, and we always got to have snacks on board for Zach. We got some grapes for you.
Ooh, Nucky.
He loves the snacks. Keeps us all happy, content.
Ready, Zach? Look, you got to throw it up in the
Preoccupied.
air to see.
Okay, but take your time. Hello.
Go throw one up. Throw it to me. I'll catch it. Okay, ready? Look, I got this. Oh, no. Okay. Next one. Go again. We got this.
Ooh.
Oh!
Nice throw. Nice catch.
Good job, bro. Good job. And he's like the wrestler for me.
Slow down, sir.
So, okay, slow down. Okay, slow down. Chew. He's a fast eater. Okay.
That was like 2 bites. Well, as you can tell, snacks don't last very long on our trips.
But they are very important in our trip. Ready, Mom? Your turn. Ready? 1,
Oh, gosh.
2, 3.
I can't see.
Where's the reaction?
Come on.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Ow! Okay.
That's the chaos right there. That is the chaos.
Okay, Mom.
Where'd it go?
I don't know. It's somewhere. It's lost forever.
Papa.
Forever gone.
It was close enough. No.
Wasn't close enough. We did pretty good.
Yeah.
He
That was a good.
he threw direct on
Yeah.
everything. That was impressive. Yeah. But yeah, snacks are very important for Zach on a trip. And so we talked about that a little bit, making sure to have those snacks on board so he doesn't get hangry, one, but also keeps him occupied. He loves food.
Does.
We all love food.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I have a little sensory friendly toy here.
Come on in.
Sorry, here you go.
Come on.
Again, toys, little fidget things, whatever it may be. Each individual is different on what they enjoy and like.
Keep him preoccupied.
Keep him
for a
preoccupied for a little bit. Zach's switch is important. Oh, man.
while.
Whatever.
It'll keep me preoccupied.
So it keeps our family preoccupied for the long flight.
Catch.
Okay.
Catch. Here we go. Ready?
I'm open.
Sorry.
Okay. Just going to keep him preoccupied for a bit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm open. Got it. Open. Catch. All right. Good catch.
Okay, guys.
Anyways, are you ready for the last item in the suitcase?
Okay.
Okay. This is more of a memorabilia for us. This was our first international trip together. First time flying abroad. Big milestone for us.
London.
Come on.
London. What could it be?
We got
Paddington. Okay, I love Paddington.
My man Paddington.
Sorry, Mom. I'll,
Sorry, Mom. It's his Paddington. This is Buddy Paddington. Can you see Paddington?
Sorry,
No,
Mom.
probably not. But Paddington's right there. Again, London was a great trip for us.
It
was very, very
It
great.
really was.
First time abroad.
It went by fast.
It did.
And we did a lot in a very short time.
I think we were there for like 10 days. Yeah, it was amazing.
I feel like it was shorter.
Maybe. Something like that.
Yeah, it was short.
We had to get a little souvenir from London. Zach loves Paddington.
Such a fun. It was, considering the weather,
It rained a lot.
it rained a lot. We really did do a lot.
Yeah.
We experienced quite a bit from.
We
we'll
did
get-
we did have a lot of
We
pictures
did
too.
have a lot of pictures. We had afternoon tea. Remember we had afternoon tea?
We took pictures by the
So good.
No.
big thing, the Big Ben.
Oh, the big
It's like
fan.
the big thing. It's a big clock. It's a big.
We'll get pictures next time. I'm sorry. You're right. I should have had pictures of our trip.
All right, Zach. But here is to more traveling in the future together as a family, right? Travel on 3. 1, 2, 3. Travel.
Where are we going next?
Recognize
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise.
dog.
It's a surprise. I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Exercise.
Mr. Zachary Valentine.
What?
What Crocs are you wearing today?
Ta-da!
I was actually like, that looked like it bent wrong and everything. But that
Those are fun.
Why?
it reminds you of
Yeah,
Hawaii?
It does. Like they have little palm trees.
You want to go to Hawaii?
They're like travel friendly.
Ow.
Oh, sorry.
He's flexible, but not flexible in that way.
Now come on.
I'll help you.
Sorry. Here we go. A little too hard there.
What the heck, Bob?
Elegant.
Get the heck,
Oh,
mom.
these are pretty cool.
What's going on?
What are these?
You know, Zach, you remember going to Hawaii?
Stephen
Going to
Harrington.
Maui?
Ah, Stephen Harrington.
Going to a little
How
luau?
about you?
It was for my birthday. We did travel to Hawaii for my birthday. And those Crocs remind Zach of Hawaii.
They do.
It's the Steve Harrington Crocs. We got the palm tree, got the vibe, got the beach vibes.
It is very beachy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Man.
Honestly,
I love these.
I miss the coconut shrimp in Hawaii.
Ah, but it did tell me.
Can we just go back for the coconut shrimp?
That tell me.
No one's talking to you right now.
I'm talking of Patrick.
We're talking about the coconut shrimp, sir.
What the heck?
Don't you miss the coconut shrimp?
I coconut.
You're a coconut?
Yeah.
You're a coconut.
You are a coconut.
Oh yeah. Yes, it had.
You have a coconut head?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Do I have a coconut head?
Mama.
Okay, just Zach. Zach has a coconut head. What's the song? I'm a coconut, something coconut. I don't forget.
Yeah, that was just playing yesterday.
It was in my head yesterday, but I forgot.
I'm a coconut.
But Zach had a coconut head.
These are fun.
Is there a coconut on there? Gibbet, coconut gibbet? I like coconut water. You like coconut water?
man.
Is
Sorry,
that a whale?
sorry, my man.
A
We're talking
shark?
about coconuts. You got me sidetracked with coconuts, but we're talking about Crocs and then Hawaii and chaos ensued.
I would love to go to Hawaii again. We went to Maui.
What part of Hawaii you want to go to next?
I'd say the Big Island.
The Big Island. Zach, you want to go back to Hawaii?
No, not.
What?
You sure?
No way, my sig.
No way.
Yeah.
You don't want to go back to Hawaii?
And eat all that coconut
I'll get the coconut shrimp. I'll get the dessert. I will get all the seafood, all the sushi,
Tato.
and tacos and fish tacos, sir. Do you want to go to Hawaii now?
Okay, man.
I thought so.
let's go.
I thought so. You just got to tell him about the food, and then he's like, sign
And
me
you
up.
can take these Crocs with you. You want to take these Crocs with you?
Okay, man.
Perfect.
All right, Hawaii on 3. 1, 2, 3. It doesn't fill in you. There we go. Hawaii on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hawaii.
Hawaii. Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
With the Crocs.
With the Crocs. With, as Zach says, the Hawaii Crocs. Mom, now it's time for golden moments. I'm very grateful that I get to travel with you all. I'm very grateful that we get to experience a lot of things while traveling. I never want to take those moments and those experiences for granted because, again, we didn't know if it was possible for us to travel that often, right? Whether it's because of family dynamic, whether it's Zachary, financial. Traveling isn't the easiest for a lot of people. And so I think the golden moment is just simply being grateful to be in this position today to travel, to experience these things with people that I love. And again, I am very hyper aware that because of situations, because of circumstances, it's not easily accessible for a lot of people. And so I never want to take it for granted.
I think my golden moment, something we really didn't like key in, is accessibility while we're traveling. We've had to learn how to create certain opportunities for Zachary, even when things are not truly accessible for him. And my golden moment comes from what I've said before. It's don't let certain things hinder you from trying. I'm grateful that I've always had that desire to just keep going, that desire to try again, that no matter how many times I have failed at something, or just don't give up.
Yeah.
And that is proving true today, the things that we've come to experience. You don't sometimes see the reward or feel the reward right away. It may take months, even years. For me, it feels like years, like many years to be here today. And that's like my aha golden moment, to look back and see how every pivotal point has really been like a cornerstone of our lives for today. Like, just, it's hard to sum it all up in one, right? As we continue to share these moments in our lives. But when you start putting them all together and we keep having these conversations about them, there's so many pivotal points, because we started somewhere that felt like an endless stream of just challenges. And we are in our lives now experiencing, having these moments that feel like just the reward of all those trials and all those struggles and all those moments that I couldn't give up.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Thank you all for watching Love Out of Chaos with the Valentines. I'm Patrick Valentine.
Okay, Valentine.
And I'm Linda, Mama Valentine.
Zach. Make sure to give this video a 100 thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. Follow us on all platforms. And with that, it's a beautiful chaos.